Alright guys, welcome back to my channel, and this, as the title suggests, is a video of just my predictions on how the La Liga season is going to pan out. So if you like the video, then please press the like button, subscribe to my channel for more content like this. There are also a few other videos uploaded, you might want to check those out as well, and let's get on with it. So at number 20th, I have Elche FC. Now, fair warning, I am an Indian guy, and so my pronunciations of these names are not going to be perfect. So just keep that in mind. That being said, the reason why I'm putting Elche on 20th position is because I just didn't feel like they played that well in the Segunda Division. They were good, obviously, otherwise they wouldn't have been promoted, but even their matchup with Girona, the playoff finals, it was so tight and cagey, and I don't feel like they are going to make much of a difference in La Liga. Also, they didn't have much in terms of transfer activity so far, at least, so there's that as well. So that's why I will put them to go straight back down again. Moving on from that, we have Huesca. Now, Huesca is a club that got relegated in the season prior, and they bounced right back up. Now, I do believe that this team has the quality to stay up in La Liga, but the reason I'm putting them in 19th is because, again, not much in terms of transfer activities, but that's more due to the COVID-19 situation than anything else. But it's just that I don't know how they are going to play, because the last time they played in La Liga, they didn't really play all that well. They had some good moments, but they didn't do enough. And I feel like that's going to repeat itself. But I could be wrong about Huesca, to be fair. They could survive relegation. Moving on to number 18, we have Deportivo Alaves. Now, the reason why I'm putting Alaves in a relegation candidate is because they have been extremely poor in recent times. And if that trend continues, I just don't see how they can stay up in La Liga. Their performances have been poor. The number of goals they have scored hasn't been great. Their defenses have collapsed. They have a surprising number of draws, to be fair. I mean, if you look at last season, they finished 16th and they had 9 draws and they lost 19 games and they only won 10. Their defense is one of the worst in the league right now, and they haven't really done much to rectify that situation. So I do believe Alaves will this time go down. Now at number 17, I have Celta Vigo. Celta Vigo is a team that does not lack quality. Celta Vigo is a team that on their best day, they can defeat absolutely anyone. And I mean that. They can defeat a Barcelona, they can defeat a Real Madrid without any issues. But the thing is, this team is not consistent. I just don't know why this team is playing like this, are in this position. They have a great striker in Iago Aspas. They have a competent goalkeeper in Ruben Blanco. They have good players all over the pitch. They have some young talents. They have some players like Denis Suarez, who was signed from Barcelona. They are excellent players. They have quality all over the pitch. I don't know why they are playing like this. But I do expect them to keep the 17th position, because for 2 straight years they have been fighting in this relegation scrap, and I just don't feel like this year is going to be any different with them. Now in number 16, I have Real Betis. Now the reason why I'm putting Real Betis in 16th position is because, again, this is another team that is like Celta Vigo. They have talent. They can go toe to toe with the best teams in the league on their day, but they don't. I don't know what happened to them ever since that whole Quique Setien era was over for Real Betis. They just haven't bounced back. They had some really good signings like Nabil Fekir the last season, but they haven't done enough. Even in this season in the transfer market, if you look at their signings, yeah, they got Martin Montoya from Brighton, and that's about it. So with the same squad, I don't see how they are going to change the status quo. So I feel like they are going to finish in the exact same position they finished earlier in the season. Was it the exact same position? Yeah, Betis finished 15th, so I am putting them one place down actually. Yeah. So in 15th, I have Cadiz FC. or carries CF. Now again, sorry about the pronunciation. I honestly haven't heard much pronunciation of this word, so I don't know. Uh, I saw a few matches they played in the secondary division. I liked how they play. Uh, they are not always all that defensive. They do like to attack the ball a bit, at least. So yeah, the whole thing about them getting promoted and them wanting to stay up, them fighting to stay up, might just give them a good enough start to get them into that 15th position. That's what I feel. Right, moving on to 14th, and this is going to be a shocker if you haven't been following the news regarding this club, and that is Valencia. Valencia is a club that has consistently been challenging for Europe, and now it is just a mess. Valencia is a mess. They have lost their best players within a span of a week. I honestly, how this club has gone from being one of the challenging clubs in Europe to this, I will never quite understand. And it just looks like they are reaching for something, and I don't know what they are going for. Because if you look at the departures, Rodrigo, their best goal scorer, has gone to Leeds for 27 million. Ferran Torres, the young talented winger, has gone to Man City. Francis Coquelin, their midfielder, has gone to Villarreal. Their captain Dani Parejo has gone to Villarreal. And some of these transfers, for example, Dani Parejo left for free. How on earth does that happen? Then their defenders like Ezequiel Garay, they are now free players. They don't want to renew their contracts with Valencia. Valencia is just one big mess. I just don't see how they can finish even in the top half of the table. So 14th is probably the best for them. Now at number 13, I have Eibar. Now in the last season, Eibar finished at number 14. I'm putting them one step above because obviously I said that Valencia is going to perform really bad. And they will. I am pretty sure that Valencia is going to perform very badly. So Eibar will get that one step up. Eibar has been that middle of the park team in the bottom middle of the table for around 2 seasons now. So yeah, that's where I expect them to finish. There's no massive overhaul in the squad. So they are pretty much going to finish around 13. At number 12, I have Real Valladolid. Now, this is an interesting one. This is obviously a club that is owned by Ronaldo, not Cristiano Ronaldo, the older Brazilian Ronaldo. And they have had some interesting activities in the transfer market. For example, they sold one of their best defenders to Southampton. But they also got some really good signings. For example, Fabian Orellana, he's a good enough player. I have seen him play before. Javi Sanchez from Real Madrid, he's a talented youngster. He can do well. So yeah, there are a few players that they have gotten that are good, and they might just be able to improve on their position from last season. So I feel like this is a good enough spot for Real Valladolid, which is 12th position. Now at number 11, I have Levante. Now Levante is one of the clubs which are they can almost be said that this is the one small club that can just defeat the giants. Levante is a club that no top team in La Liga can go without fearing them. Because Levante is honestly a really good club. They are great at counter-attacking. They don't always sit deep on the ball. They also challenge for possession. That is something I love about this club, Levante. They are not always all that defensive. Doesn't mean that they are attacking like say Barcelona or say Villarreal. Or like Real Madrid, for example. They are not a possession-based club all that much, but they are good. And so a finish near the mid-table is a good enough finish for Levante. Because I do believe they have problems dealing with the lower end of the table more than the higher end of the table. In the lower end of the table, you always see some shock results like them losing to some relegation candidate or maybe drawing against a relegation candidate, dropping points here and there. But then they perform well against the top half of the table. So this is a really weird club, and I feel like 11th position is a good way to go. Now at number 10, we have Osasuna. Now Osasuna is a club I love watching. Because honestly, they are really, really good. Now, they don't have the talent to quite make it to the European spots. They need something extra. Hopefully, they'll get it. They have some good signings, for example, Enrique Gallejo. Sorry if I'm pronouncing the names wrong. Then there's Raul Navas. So they do have some good signings. And one of their strikers, Chemi Avila, just brilliant. He is brilliant because when he is in form, he can be one of the best strikers in the league. But of course, he runs a bit hot and cold throughout the season. So I believe Osasuna will finish exactly at the mid-table. Not challenging for Europe, but definitely not in the relegation scrap. At number 9, I have Athletic Bilbao, which is an improvement over their position in the last season where they finished 11th. Not much of an improvement, I agree, but I do feel like they can improve a bit. Their squad can gel a bit. Now, obviously, their talismanic figure, Aritz Aduriz, he has now retired, if I am not wrong. But they do have some interesting players. And since this is one of the clubs that has never been relegated from La Liga, I do feel like they can finish slightly above mid-table. So hopefully they do that and hopefully they can perform well. Now moving on to the number 8 spot, we have Real Sociedad. Now Real Sociedad is a really, really good club in my opinion. They were excellent in the previous season. One of their best players was Martin Odegaard, but now he has gone to Real Madrid. But if we are to take note of that fact, they also managed to sign David Silva from Manchester City on a free deal. Now that is a huge signing. Yes, David Silva is now old. He is not the player he used to be, but he's still a great player. So I do believe they are going to challenge for the European spots, but I don't really think they are going to get the European spots because of the clubs that are going to come after them. But yeah, great club nonetheless, and I wouldn't be surprised if they actually do end up qualifying for Europe again. But also one of the reasons I'm putting them in 8 is because they have already qualified for the European competitions. They finished 6th, and I do believe that now playing Europa League will kind of affect their performances a bit, and that is why they will miss out on European qualification this year. Now at number 7, I have Granada. Now the reason why Granada is so high up in this table is because honestly they play well. Any team that is playing against Granada have to be fearful of this team because in their day, you don't know what they can do. They are absolutely brilliant. Plus, they have had some really good signings in the season this time. They lost one of their best players, in my opinion, in terms of Alvaro Vadillo. He went to Celta Vigo on a free deal, but yeah, overall, I feel they can definitely challenge for Europe this time. They already have qualified for Europe. I don't think they are going to make it too far into the Europa League, in my opinion. So it's not like there will be much of a fixture congestion January onwards. So yeah, they can definitely keep their spot in the 7th place where they finished this time. Now moving on to number 6, I have Getafe. Now Getafe, for most of this season, Getafe looked like they were going to finish in that number 4th spot and qualify for Champions League. And so it was really a disappointing season for them. And keep in mind, Getafe hasn't really been back in the league for a while. This is their 2nd season back in La Liga. They were relegated, they came back up, and now this is their 2nd season in La Liga. They are already challenging for Europe. They played in Europa League this time, and this is the effect that I was saying with Real Sociedad. Getafe played in the Europa League, but then their performances suffered a bit, and so they didn't qualify for Europe this time. I feel like that is the case with Real Sociedad. That is going to be the case with Real Sociedad. So Getafe, 6th position, surely they can do it without the pressure of actually playing in Europe. They can finish higher in the league. They have really good quality players. They do play a lot defensively. Most of their game is based on counter-attack and some really questionable tactics. But yeah, if you consider the amount of money they spend, it is really not a surprise. It's not like they are Atletico Madrid who are putting 10 men behind the ball and sitting deep and only playing on counter-attacks after spending like 120 million on one player. Their entire squad is not worth 120 million. So Yeah, they are a really small team, but they have heart, and I love that. So at number 5 we have Villarreal. Now Villarreal is a team again that I love. They are excellent in attack. Just if you rewind a few years back, they had that incredible result with a 4-4 draw against Barcelona. That was one hell of a match. And every time they play against the big teams, you don't know, they can win. They have that ability to win. It's just a matter of whether or not they will click on that specific day. Now, I do believe Villarreal have made some good moves in the transfer market, especially going for Danny Parejo and Francis Coquelin. They also have taken Takefusa Kubo from Real Madrid on loan. And even though they're very important players like Santi Cazorla have now gone away, I still feel like they have more than enough talent to keep or even improve on their position in La Liga, and so I'm putting them just in the Europa League spot. That's the final Europa League spot, because honestly that's where they deserve to be. Now at number 4, Atletico Madrid. Atletico Madrid, in my opinion, did not have a good season last time. I expected more from them, especially with their signings. I know they finished third, and third is not bad in any way, but they were still 12 points away from Barcelona. And I feel like they should have done a lot better in the league, at least challenge for that second position. And I feel like the tactics of Diego Simeone are getting a little bit old now. People have understood how to play against Atletico Madrid. So yeah, I do feel like they will hold on to that 4th spot, but barely. Now moving on to number 3, and this is going to be a controversial one, and this is something that I don't even want to say, because in the 3rd position we have FC Barcelona. Now I haven't really said this before because this is my 2nd video that I'm recording, but Barcelona is the club that I support. I love Barcelona. I started watching them since I was a kid. I love the way they play, and it just hurts me that they don't do that anymore. This idiot that is sitting at top of Barcelona, Josep Maria Bartomeu, this idiot is the reason why Barcelona will finish 3rd this season. And that is considering that Messi actually does not leave. If Messi leaves Barcelona, this is a mid-table side. This is not even going to qualify for Europe. It's not that Barcelona does not have talent. It's just that the talent is horribly unutilized. If you look at the players Barcelona has, like just for example, assume that Messi is now about to leave and Messi goes and joins Manchester City, which is the ongoing rumor right now. Look at the players Barcelona has. Even without Suarez, Barcelona has Griezmann. Barcelona has Philippe Coutinho because he's coming back from loan. Barcelona has Riqui Puig, who is an excellent midfielder. He's on the younger side, obviously he's 20 years old, but I do feel like he can really play well and he deserves those minutes. Then Carlos Alenia, who was on loan at Real Betis, he's coming back. We have Frenkie de Jong in the base of the midfield. In midfield, we have Sergi Roberto. I know a lot of people say Sergi Roberto is not that great of a player, but I do feel like people are sleeping on his potential. Because look at what he does in the pitch. There were 2 or 3 Barcelona players who are always making runs, who are always fighting for the ball. Sergi Roberto is one of them, and we need those kind of players. Now that is the midfield done. So now we go back to wingers. Now in terms of wingers, without Messi, we still have Ansu Fati. We have Dembele. Hopefully he doesn't get injured. We have Trincao, who is joining in. We have Pedri, who is joining in. We do have attacking options. It's not like we don't have options or talent. But the biggest problem that Barcelona has is their defense. Jordi Alba is not getting any younger, and we still don't have a replacement for him. I mean, honestly, Junior Firpo is a good player, but I don't think he's the kind that can replace Jordi Alba. We had a great player in terms of Cucurella, who was playing really well for Getafe, but then we sold him for pennies. I don't know what this team can do, because they need good defenders. PK is getting old. Hopefully Eric Garcia can succeed him. We need a proper right back. Semedo he is so hot and cold that at this point I don't feel like he can actually do something. In keepers, of course, we have one of the best keepers in the world in terms of Marc-Andre ter Stegen, but even with all of this talent in the team, I feel like this team is not going to finish in the 1st or the 2nd position, because the way this club is run, the way the players have responded to everything, and if Messi leaves, that's the end of this club, at least for a few years. So yeah. So moving on to the number 2 spot, we have Sevilla. Now you might notice that I'm devoting more time into these clubs. It's because they are the top 3 clubs. Now the reason why I'm putting Sevilla in the second position is because they have been absolutely brilliant since the season restarted. For the entirety of the season, it felt like Sevilla would maybe finish in that 8th position or 7th position, maybe challenging for the Europa League. Sometimes climbing up to the Champions League spot, but then again falling back because mostly Getafe, Granada and Real Sociedad were dominating those positions. But then suddenly they just clicked into form and they finished 4th, and they finished level on points with Real Madrid. Only their Atletico Madrid. Only their head-to-head was the reason why they finished 4th. Otherwise, they could have finished 3rd in the last season. And they have just won the Europa League. They have played brilliantly in this season. And honestly, I feel like this team, they can achieve something brilliant. And that is without even going into the signings that they may or may not make. Because this is a team that is already quite well balanced. Now, yes, they did lose Simon Kjaer to AC Milan, and they did lose Ever Banega. Ever Banega is now moving on. But they do have a lot of good players. For example, they recently signed an attacking midfielder, Oscar Rodriguez, on loan from Real Madrid. But they also signed Suso from AC Milan. So I consider their team to be actually brilliant, and considering that even they have good players all over the pitch, yeah, they have Lucas Ocampos. They really have good players. I just hope that Luke de Jong can find the form that he is in currently in the next season, because Luke de Jong this season has been hot and cold. He needs to find that goal scoring form. If he can consistently put those goals in, Sevilla can easily finish second and even challenge for the title, in my opinion. Now at number 1, we move to Real Madrid. Now, it really pains me to say this, but I do feel like this is going to be a second year in the running where Real Madrid wins the league. And you can't doubt it, can you? I mean, they are a brilliant team. Look at how Real Madrid have spent their money after selling Ronaldo. Yeah, they had a horrible season the moment Ronaldo left, but they bounced back. Something I cannot say for Barcelona. Real Madrid, yes, they did make a Galactico signing in terms of Eden Hazard, and that didn't really work out for them. But look at how they spend their money. They have so many talented youngsters. They have Vinicius Jr., they have Rodrigo, they have Eder Militao in the back. Provided Rafael Varane doesn't really lose his head, they are really set in defense even without Sergio Ramos. And in right back, they had so many options that they actually sold Achraf Hakimi, who was a great player at Dortmund. They don't need him because they are completely set at right back. Odriozola is obviously coming back from Bayern Munich after his excellent season. And left back, they have so many options. Sergio Reguilon will be joining back from Sevilla to Real Madrid, and unless he gets loaned out again, that is an option. But even without that, they have players all over the pitch that can replace the first team. And that is what many of the clubs in La Liga are missing, in that depth in squad. I would say in La Liga, the most deep squad is Real Madrid. They have players all over the position who can play well and who can really affect the games. I don't know what's going to happen with Gareth Bale. No one knows. But even he is a great player, and in his day, he can do damage. So I do feel Real Madrid will keep the league, and I do feel they will do it rather easily now that Barcelona is completely out of contention. So yeah, that is my La Liga list. What do you guys think? Do you feel like I am kind of overreaching with my predictions? Do let me know down in the comments below. Preferably don't hate on me. Like the video if you like the video, and subscribe to my channel for more content. And also you might want to press that notification bell icon so that you get notified when I upload these videos. So all that said, now, peace.